Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Alex Builds. We have now got pack 8 of Model Space's Build Your Own Ford GT40. Okay, so yeah, we've had pack 8 delivered, and this is one where we're pretty much finishing off all the cockpit area. So we don't get 4 stages this time, we do get 5. So let me show you what stages we get. So as you can see, here are the 5 stages. We've got stage 26, which is like the top of the dash panel, the instrument panel. 27, which is the gear knobs and some other bits and bobs, some speakers and that in there. 28, we're going to be moving on to the pedals. 29, we get the steering wheel. And 30, we get the steering rack and battery box in there. So as you can see, there is a few stages to do there. We've got the 5 stages. It doesn't look like there's a lot of parts there, but there is quite a bit to do in this video. So without further ado, let's get the parts open and start building. Okay, so the first thing it wants us to do is grab this, which is our instrument panel that we had left over from the last stage that we did. And we're going to be attaching the instrument panel cover part to the top. So on here, we'll turn this over. On here, we do have 3 tabs here, here, and here as well. They're going to locate over 3 screw holes that we've got on this panel. So we'll turn that the right way around, locate that over, and all 3 holes should line up just here, here, and here. And we're going to put 3 FPO1 screws in those holes. So I'm going to put the one in the centre in first and secure that one on, and then we'll move off to the outside edges. Remember, these is plastic, so you don't have to go over tightening these. So this one more just in the opposite side, and that one goes in there. And there we are. That's what you should have after this stage. So next we're going to be still adding to this, we're going to be adding the air vents. So the first one we're going to want is this one right here. So there's no pedal parts or foot marking on there or anything. So the first one we're going to want is this one here. We're going to turn this over, and just here, this is where this one's going. So we're going to lower this one down into there, just like so, and that's going to come through just there, as you can see. So let's get a screw in here. This wants to be an FPO1 screw just in this hole here. So let's get this one in. And there we are. That's that one in there, as you can see, just here. It's a bit hard to see because it's black on black. Now we're going to use this one here, and this one's going on the opposite side. So this one's going this side, and this one wants to go this way around. And these are sort of like little vents, and they're going to pop through just here and here. So that's good. And we're going to need 2 FPO1 screws this time, one here and one here. So let's get these 2 in. I do apologise if you can't see this very well, but I will come a bit closer in a sec and show you, because being all the parts being black, you might not be able to see it that well. So I'll bring it a bit closer. So as you can see, we've put one this side, and we've put the other one this side with 2 screws here, and that gives you that. So we can put this to the side for a minute, and we can bring back the floor assembly. Okay, so we've got our floor assembly here. I'm going to add our gear stick to it. So this is the gear stick here. It is plastic, and this is going to begin just down here in this little corner here. As you can see down here, there is a little tiny hole just down there. That's where we've got to start feeding this through, and all the little peg holes and everything should line up by itself. So that goes there, just like that. Now we can take this little silver detail we've got here. This is just going to slide over. We do have a locating peg and a screw port that's going to locate over the top of our gear stick and mount into them holes just there. So now we need to turn this over, and we're going to be putting some screws in the back. Okay, so this may want to fall out on you, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one out just for a second, and when we turn this over, we're going to be putting 2 FPO2 screws in this hole here and here. So let's get them in first. Get this first screw all the way down. Don't go too tight. And there you are, that's that one in there. And grab another one, and we're going to go in this front hole here. So make sure you support the gear stick from underneath with your fingers or something. There we are, that's tight enough for that. So now we can put this one back on, just like so. Get an FPO1 screw ready on your screwdriver. Hold that on there with your finger. When you turn it over, an FPO1 screw is going just down here in this hole. Just like that. So now that is our gear stick attached. So now we're going to move these seat belts out of the way, flip them over the back edge, and we're going to bring in our seats. So here's our seats, and this can now get dropped into here. So we need to line this part up first, drop our seats down into there, just like so, and then we can fit these in with 4 FPO2 screws on the underside of here. Okay, so we've got our 4 screw points that we're going in, so we need to start putting some screws in here. Let's get the first one in. The first one. Screw number 2. This one's not fully up, so I'm just going to adjust the seat a bit, make sure it gets fully up there. There we go. Secure that one down now. Very last screw, just in this hole here. And there we are. When we turn this back over, our seats are now attached in there. Look at that. Isn't that looking awesome? And with that, that is this stage complete. So with this stage, we're going to be installing the pedals. So we're going to be working in this area down here. So the first thing we're going to need is these 2 cables here. So the first one we're going to need is the one that's marked with O2. Just here. So this one does have O2 on there, and the other one has O1 on there. So we don't want this one yet, we want O2. So this one's getting placed on the side closest to here. So we've got 2 places to put this. This one's going in the first hole, just like that, and then the other one is going in the one next to it. So we'll just slide that one in there. Just like so. Now we can take this little black part here, and this is like a little tab, but that's going to get lowered down over the top of them. That's going to hold that in for us. So let's get that in. There we are. That's that one in. And then we're going to need an FPO2 screw to hold that down. So that's going just over the top of that. Just there. Now them switches ain't going anywhere. So we're going to need to take these cables, and both of them are going to get fed through the front. Just here, there's a little hole just there. Can you see it? They're going in there. So let's get them fed through. Number 1 and number 2. And I'll pull them through all the way down, just like that. Like that, it's pretty much perfect. Okay, so next we're going to be working with the pedal parts here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this detail here, and what we can do is we can take this one here. This one's going to get lowered down, got like a pointy edge on this side and a part that sticks up on this side. The part that sticks up, you want that on the inside, just like so. Then we can turn this over, and just in between those two little parts just there, there's a little hole. We can put an FPO5 screw just in there, and that is one of the smallest screws we've been supplied with so far. So let's get this in here. All the way down. And there we are. That is that now on there. Okay, so next up we're going to take these pedal parts here, and they're just going to get lowered straight down on the top. So we've got two peg points here. There's a peg here, and just here, this side is our screw hole. So that's going to get lined up on here. Just line them up onto there, just like so. Give that a push on there. That's what you should have so far. On the other side, just where we put the other FPO5 screw, just next to that is a hole. We're going to be putting another one in there. Let's get this one in. I'm going to slowly lower that down into there. There we are. That is them pedals all assembled with our clutch assembly. Now this is going in to here, so let's get that on there. We do have a couple of pins on here that's going to help locate this on. So we want this obviously facing the right way, which is this way. It's going to face down like that, down into it. Let's get these on. There we are. So that is located in there. We do have two holes in there that can locate in, and then when we turn this over, we can put an FPO1 screw in the underside. Let's hold that on, turn it over. There's our hole just there. So let's get this in. There we are. Look at that. Our pedals are all in there now. Looking very, very good. And with that, that's what you should have up to this point, and that is this stage complete. So next up, we're going to be making our steering wheel and everything that goes with that. So we're going to take our little cog part that we've got, and that is going on. So we've got a little key slot this side. We want to go the opposite side with this. This is going on here. This is just going to slide like a D-shaped cutout. That's going to help us locate that onto there. Just need to give that a good push so it goes all the way down, whereas that is a tight fit. So I'm going to give that a little persuasion. Alright, so that's that on there. Now we need to put the steering wheel on the opposite side. That's where our little keyhole part comes in. That's going to slot onto there, just like so. And then we've got some new screws in this pack, which is FDO4. So let's get one of them in, and that's going straight down the centre. Just like that. That is our steering wheel on there. Just going to do that a little bit tighter, still a little loose. That's better. So that's that on there, just like so. Now we can take our Ford GT cover, which is this one here, and this is going to get plugged into here. So there's 3 pegs to get lined up and push in. There we are. That is that onto there. Now this is where it's going. It's just in here, so we need to locate that into there. So when we turn this over, the actual steering wheel part, you've got this cut out bit part here. That's going to line up into there, and that's what's going to hold that in there for us. So let's get that in. Just like so. Very, very nice fit. Then we can take this part, and this is going to give us what's going to keep it in. This part here is going to slot over here, slide up here, just like so. Then we can put some screws in the underside here, which is going to be FPO1 screws. Let's get these two in. Number 1, and the second one on the opposite side. Just like so. That's our steering wheel on there now. Look at that. That is this stage complete. Okay, so we've now got the parts for the steering rack, so we're going to install these. So this one here is the one we're going to start off with first. So we need to bring back our panel part. So we're going to be working here first. So that's where we're going to be putting our first part. So we're going to slide this down into here. So that's just going to get located down onto there. And then we're going to be putting 2 screws in here, which are both FPO1 screws. Let's get these in. The first one, the second one is going right next to that. Just there. So now that is that on there. Now we're going to take this metal steering rack part, and this is going to get located over the top here. So the part we want facing up is the part with the teeth. So that's going to sit just on there, just like so. And then we're going to install the battery box. That's going to get located down into here. So we've got 2 points to get that on there with, and then we can screw that down there. So we're going to need an FPO1 screw in the top and 2 in the bottom. So I'm going to put the one in the top first so this doesn't fall out. Let's get that one in. It's going to help clamp that steering rack there as well. Now let's flip this over. And we're going just here and here. So let's take the final screw, and that's going down in this last hole, just here. There we are, and we can tighten that one up as well. And when we flip this over, we've got our battery box there now. So we can tighten this one up. There we are. Looking very, very cool. Right, so now we're going to need to bring back this part here, the part of our steering wheel on. The part we want to concentrate on first is the part with the cog on. So down here, where these teeth are here, there's just a little hole just there, and that's where the end of this is going to slide in. We need to slide that in first, just like so, and then we can lower that down onto its respective peg points. So that one's there, and that one is there. Right, so now we can flip this over, and then we're going to use some FPO1 screws to secure this down. Right, so the first ones we're going to put in are these ones here. And get that one in. Now the second one just next to it. Now we've got to do exactly the same with the opposite side. 2 more screws in this side. Let's get this first one down. There we are, and the final one just next to that one. So just here. And there we are. With that, we've got no more parts, so we can turn this back over. And that is pretty much our cockpit area complete. Looking really, really cool. So I did have one decal sticker left over from last week. This one goes on the battery. There we are. We've got that down there on the battery. Cool. So how cool is that looking so far? Look at that. Looking really, really good. Really impressed with that. Coming along now. So that is pack 8 complete. That is it for this month. So join me again next month when we do pack 9. If you did like this video, guys, please leave a like down below. And if you haven't already subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you all next time. Take care. Bye-bye.